Hey everybody, I'm Camila.
I'm Marcella.
This is Revisiting Sunnydale. This is episode number 76. Yay! We are coming to the end of season 4.
Yay! We are graduating!
Yay! I mean, it's not like we don't enjoy season 4, but it's been a long time coming. Especially it's when you know there's so much good stuff to come ahead. So much good stuff. So, couple favors. Go like us on Facebook at Revisiting Sunnydale. Follow us on Twitter at Back to Sunnydale. Rate, review, subscribe to our show on iTunes, Libsyn, Player FM, as well as iHeartRadio. So you can find us on 4 different platforms.
Wouldn't that be great if they gave us passes to iHeartRadio? Like, hey, all our contributors, here's passes to the iHeartRadio Festival.
That would be awesome sauce.
That's probably the only way I'll see Justin in concert ever again. He's coming.
Again?
Next week.
I mean, for next week?
Next week.
To Pittsburgh?
June 1st, right? Next week is June 1st?
Yeah,
Next Friday.
To Pittsburgh?
Yeah, his tour is coming to Pittsburgh.
I have heard zero about it.
Yes. So my mom was going to buy tickets because I've seen every one of his shows.
Really? Here in Pittsburgh?
Here in yes.
Every
here in
one of
Pittsburgh. And
every one of his tours?
yeah.
Huh.
Until now. Because the tickets were so expensive. If you didn't want to sit in the very top of the PPG Mellon 3 or whatever.
Yeah. Whatever that is.
PPG Paints Arena now, I guess it's called.
I don't fucking know. Yeah.
Those tickets were $49.50 in the Stratosphere.
At the tip top.
If you wanted to be like mid-level, $150 a piece.
Mid-level.
Mid-level.
No,
I love
sir.
you,
No, sir.
but fuck you.
You know what? This doesn't make any damn sense.
No,
Like,
these promoters it's out of control. I'm not paying $200 per person to go see anyone.
That's a damn, like, seriously though? Like, no disrespect, Jessica Biel, but for that amount of money, for like $200, he's going to have to give me a fucking lap dance.
Right?
Like, there's going to have to be some skin-on-skin contact at that point.
I just got that scene from Bad Teacher, the dry humping. Sorry, Jessica. I hope he doesn't do that to you.
But seriously, though, like, I'm not... Nah, that's insane. Like, you would think the more...
You eat the Rolling Stones?
Right. Like, it's kind of unbalanced, I feel, at this point. Because, like, I could understand, you know, higher tickets when they're less popular because you're getting fewer people coming. So, sure.
Right.
So, the more popular you get, you're at this Justin Timberlake level, you are getting money from all kinds of fucking venues, all sorts of avenues. You have money coming in
Hand
everywhere.
over fist. They're just throwing it at you.
Right. So you should be able to go ahead and be like, you know what I'm going to do for my fans, the motherfuckers who got me where I am, I'm going to give you a little price break.
Like Garth Brooks did. He did something a bunch of years ago where he said, every ticket, I don't care, is $50. I don't care where it is. Every ticket is $50.
Bless his country heart.
Right?
That's so reasonable.
That's what you do.
Right.
That's what you do. He was like, I have made enough money to last me all of my fans' lifetime.
Where's the...
No, I want them to be able to come and enjoy the music.
Exactly. And that's what and see, good on you.
Right?
Look at Garth coming through
Look
like
at you.
that. Look at you.
That makes me be able to forget the Christopher Gaines thing. Maybe not, but...
I don't know why, but I think I had a cassette single or a CD of that.
He was so funky. Like, where did all that soul come from, my boy? That was just in you?
Oh, man. Oh, that was good times. Good times.
If you don't know what we're talking about,
Google
it. YouTube
and
it.
You're welcome.
Yes, you're welcome. Please write what you think on our Facebook
Right.
page. Because that's a hole I'll fall down with you.
I think it started with the Olympics or something. I don't know. Anyway.
Unfortunately, we're not here to talk about Chris Gaines.
No. We're here to talk about the subpar season finale for season 4.
We're here to talk about how this episode makes me feel, and it's restless. I'm lucky if I can make it through this episode sometimes.
Dude, I'm like, all right, first of all, I know I've said this before. This is not the true season finale in my heart. No. And I usually never watch this one when I'm doing rewatches. I skip right past it.
And people say it's a fan favorite.
I fall asleep.
Who?
What fans? Why?
Who?
Why?
Guys.
The cheese man's mom?
Right? That's the only part he's like, this is my baby. This is breakout roll. It's the cheese.
So this is season 4, episode 22, Restless. Original air date, May 23rd, 2000. Written by Joss Whedon, directed by Joss Whedon. Buffy, Willow, Xander, and Giles experience dreams in which they are pursued by a mysterious figure. Mm-hmm. And, this is also kind of a nod. Everybody comes back and has a little weird role in it. And, we got Principal Schneider is here. And Harmony rolls in. Even Olivia. And Oz comes back.
Mm-hmm. Which, oddly enough, this is the final time that we will see 3 of those people. This is the last time you will ever see Seth Green as Oz, Principal Snyder, and Olivia. This is the final time they are ever on the show.
Which, yeah. Womp womp.
Womp womp. Sorry.
I mean, not about Schneider, because, I was fine with him gone.
Fuck that dude.
So Riley is going to a debriefing. I'm not sure exactly how long. Is it the same day, supposedly, after
I think so.
They defeat Adam?
I think it's the same
This is
day.
the night. They're all wired and whatnot, and Buffy says goodbye to Riley at her door. He's going to get debriefed, and their gang is going to do a movie night with Giles awkwardly included. This is just...
Go home. Or at the very least...
Go have some tea with Joyce.
Yes.
Go sit down and have some adult time.
Go make some contact with the woman you boned and left.
Right.
I guess they find it hard to be in the same room with each other. But let's talk about, right off the bat, the most disturbing part.
The fact that this is her first time meeting Riley?
Yes. What the fuck? And I love how she blatantly is just like, did you see how pointedly I said nice?
Finally.
Yeah. All right, Mom.
I know. As we have discovered with the Slayer Stats map of Sunnydale, you see Sunnydale and Buffy's house is not very far away.
Not very far. Not even a half an hour.
Now, I know Buffy doesn't drive, but she manages to get everywhere else without driving.
God, could you imagine how much her life would have improved if the comic should mention how many, she should be Ubering everywhere.
Right. Seriously.
It would just be, the comic is missing gold with that. Because Buffy she has to love Uber and Lyft. They have to be her blood lifeline. Like Deadpool in the taxi.
Right. Seriously. Yes. That's what she should have her own Uber driver. So Buffy, her and Riley have been dating for basically a year, I guess. I'm going to assume
at least a school year.
Right, at least a school year. And she has never once
not one fucking time
him to her mom.
How is that even possible?
Joyce is so disrespected.
Guess where Riley could have hung out instead of the cheap, disgusting high school when he was on the Lam? Y'all are rude. You let Faith live in that nasty ass motel instead of with your mom.
Right.
Who's bored, by the way.
So bored. That poor thing.
She could have taken care of Riley.
She would have happily. Happily. And he would have had cocoa with little marshmallows.
But no, instead, they've never met until now. So yeah, he's putting his trust in the government and he's off to get debriefed. Okay, sure.
Dude. How about this? How about I send y'all an email and let you know what I thought of the situation and we never talk again.
How about I send you my medical bills because I'm sure I needed a tetanus shot after ripping that thing out of... And why are we not talking about your open sucking chest wound that you have? It's only been a couple hours.
Yeah, seriously.
Even if you've patched it up, it should still probably be leaking through your shirt.
And it's just a little tender still. A little bit tender.
But no, he full on hugs her. Okay.
Whatever. And I'm pretty sure he had a fresh haircut.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna gloss over that.
Well, he was kind of dirty from staying in the school.
I guess.
He probably had a shower.
Finally. Yeah, he finally had a shower.
So they're gonna watch movies.
On VHS.
On VHS.
Xander has been allowed to choose the movies for the night. And there's 5 or 6 of them stacked there in front of him. So I don't know when they had time to go to Blockbuster.
Right.
Between...
Right. I don't know.
Apocalypse Now gets mentioned, which I'm not sure why. Is it still part of this military mumbo jumbo in his head that he would?
I've never seen that movie.
I've seen it once in a film class, and it's.
I don't need to see it again.
I don't get it.
I've never seen it, and I never need to see it.
No,
again.
There's no point.
Nope.
I find no point, and I mean, there's just some movies that are only good at that point in time in life. And sure, I will take that at that point in time. I don't even know what year it was. I'm assuming the 60s, 70s, whatever. That was cinematic gold. It was genius. It was awesome. I find it boring and obnoxious.
Yeah. I didn't live through that, so I don't identify with it.
Right. And I don't really identify mostly with a lot of military movies anyway. So, any hoozles.
Thanks for your service.
Exactly. Not to make light of the real veterans and heroes and those who serve and do all that. I am not that person.
Nope.
Thank you for being that person.
Yep.
Because it's not me. All right, so the gang is like, oh my God, we're so wired. There's no way we're going to sleep. We're going to watch all these movies. And George's like, I'm out. I don't need to be a
I can't believe you're not tired.
Yeah, exactly. I am sleepy, and I'm going to go, curl up and go with one of my Danielle Steele novels.
And Sanders, okay, Joyce.
So they put in the first movie, and then...
the rest of us.
Yeah.
They're out within the first...
Exactly, before the FBI warning's gone.
They're out.
Because, I've been there, man. It's a lot. It's like...
I can't wait to watch this.
It's like 10 o'clock, and I'm thinking, yes, I can totally watch a full-on 2-hour movie to...
Yep, and you're done. You wake up, the credits.
The credits are rolling. Which, that really bugs the hell out of me. I have a knack for falling asleep in a movie and waking up at the last 10 minutes of it to catch the ending.
To spoil it?
Yes.
Yeah, and you're like
the fuck?
Why am I sitting here watching it? Turn it off. Why are you doing that? I can't help it. It's just like, well, this is interesting. I wonder if the whole movie was this good.
So, speaking of warnings, guys, I'm turning on the AC. It's a warm day in Pittsburgh. It's a warm day in the studio, so I'm turning on the AC. Hopefully it doesn't bug you too much. All right, so...
You don't want us to pass out.
No, because
we will, and then that'll be funny.
It is going to be just like this full-on silence. Just this audio break.
So Willow is up first in our each character. So the basic layout of this episode is that each character is going to get a dream sequence.
Right. So we can't recap this like we do normal episodes. One, we don't care.
No.
That much.
We don't.
Two, how do you recap dream sequences?
Right.
Like, honestly, I hate dream sequences in film and television.
They're just awful. And so the gist of Willow's dream is just that she's become this independent person and she's afraid that she's going to slip back into her old nerdy ways. I'd say.
I think that's where we're going, because we start off and there's like something that I'm not sure, and I didn't do any of the research. I'm sure there's stuff out there on the Wikipedia and stuff, but when she's painting on Tara's back, I know that's an ode to some movie or a novel or something, but they're talking about Miss Kitty Fantastico and how she doesn't have a name. And guys, Miss Kitty is a name.
That's her name.
That's her full-on name. And they get to Tara saying, something about how you don't know who I really am, or you don't know everything about me, or
foreshadowing.
Something. Yeah. So was that like a for real foreshadow to the episode where her family comes to town?
I think so.
All right. So yeah. So Willow is.
She's in the drama club for some reason.
Back
That's
in high
the best
school.
part. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, so they're talking about she's got this sudden performance all of a sudden, and she has to do a book report in class. And Buffy's like, take off that ridiculous costume. And she's like,
these are my clothes.
It's my clothes. What are you talking about? And she just rips it off of her, and there's old Kiki Willow
standing in front of a class that includes Anya and Buffy and Xander and Oz and Tara, who are snuggly wuggly.
Real snuggly
all up
wuggly.
like, I am uncomfortable watching what's happening between them, because they are, excuse me, kids.
Yeah. It's and it's cute.
It's super cute. Like, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen that level of sexy on Seth Green before or after.
No. Other than the time that he was stroking Willow's hair.
That was cute.
It was cute.
That
this
was
was full on man.
Yeah, yes, he was a grown man. And, and they're whispering to each other. And when we see Willow back in her nerdy attire, he looks at Tara and is like, I tried to tell you. And he has this little look on her.
It's like, excuse me, sir. You loved that. You loved all of that.
That was your boo.
Yeah.
That was bae.
And then we cut to this Death of a Salesman performance that is just...
I've never seen anything about... I don't know anything about this play, novel, movie. I don't know anything about the story.
Did the writers just sit in a room and throw shit at a wall?
I think so.
And they're like, yeah, let's totally do that. Because Buffy looks like...
Velma or Roxy from Chicago.
Yes.
Like, she looks like she's supposed to be in the play Chicago.
Right. Harmony.
She's a milkmaid.
has my favorite part of this dream is Giles is the producer
Right.
or leader of their
director.
Yeah. And he's trying to do his circle speech.
Yes.
And Harmony keeps like trying to playfully bite at
vamped
his neck. And he just keeps saying, "Stop it.
That's annoying.
Cut it out." But they're all doing different things, and Riley, I get to be a cowboy. What am I watching? There's nothing important going on.
Zero. I'm like clinging on. I'm trying to cling on to anything
Yes, like,
that
what's
makes
the
any
point?
sort of sense.
There's a cheese dude who's like displaying cheese slices. I don't even remember
very
what he
proud of
says
it.
at this one.
He's just he basically says that he's pointing out that he has displayed them. Like he says, I have displayed the cheese for everyone to see or something. And then,
There's a very creepy figure stalking around in the
Yes.
background. And I'm like, oh, is this the point to all of this? What?
yes, so we don't ever really get like a full-on glimpse of what stalking Willow can tell something's happening. She's caught up in the backstage curtains, and Tara shows up and says some more cryptic shit, and
Shit, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't get it.
then she starts getting like stabbed through the curtains. And finally the thing attacks her, and like we get a close up of Willow's face, and it just like drains to like old lady
Yep.
face.
And then we see her on the couch back in the real world, just like seizing.
Convulsing I
On
don't
the
know.
couch.
Yeah,
And then Giles is just like next to her.
right. Which I mean, this is all.
They're all knocked out.
Giles, why don't you just go home? So the next one,
go home?
the next one is Xander.
Now this shit gets weird.
So weird. The one thing I would like to point out about Xander's dream is that, and I'm wondering, this is more like a look into the behind the scenes of the show. The way that, and we've all had these dreams where it's like one room leads to another room that shouldn't be, and blah blah blah. So I just kind of wonder. It made me wonder, like, how is their set?
I think that's probably
constructed?
how the
like,
set
that's
is.
actually what
Yeah.
it is. Like,
that's probably how you can get from place to
that's
place
so
on
crazy.
the set.
But like,
And they were just like, well, awesome.
right, a great way to use it, to use all your space and everything. But yeah, so Xander, his dream starts off like it's in the real world. And there in his real world, Willow is asleep, but everyone else is awake, still watching Apocalypse Now.
And she's seizing, and he's like,
Right.
what's wrong with her? And again, Buffy doesn't care.
No, she's like,
Even Dream Buffy doesn't give two shits.
it's almost. I think she basically says she's doing the most, or she's overacting, she's
Yep.
being dramatic, whatever. So Xander goes to pee, goes upstairs, and this is a cute exchange. He's like, "All right, I gotta go pee," and Buffy's like, "You need any help with that?" He's like, "Nope, got a system."
And he runs into
Sissy Joyce.
Sexy Joyce. What the fuck is going
She's got
on?
this full on like red satin
Negligee.
I know,
Like,
but
full
with
on
robe and
negligee.
Hair is just blowing in the non-existent wind, all billowy and whatnot. And
And of course, Xander is.
aroused.
Hello,
Intrigued.
Joyce. Yes, Joyce. Because they had an adorable little exchange at the beginning where she
Right.
wanted him to be her kitchen buddy and help her with the microwave and the popcorn and all that.
Yes, he was like, it's my secret recipe of popcorn. And Willow is like, oh, you pressed
pressed popcorn?
He's like, no, I pressed defrost, but Joyce was out. Joyce is there in a cinch to help me.
And she's inviting him into her boudoir. And he's like, yeah.
But I'm just gonna go take care of some stuff in the bathroom real quick.
Then it gets weird.
Weirder.
Weirder.
He goes into the bathroom, he starts to pee, and he turns around, and there's the whole initiative.
Watching him pee.
And even like Dream Xander is just a snarky individual. He's like, I'm gonna go find another bathroom.
And he walks through a room, and all of a sudden he's outside in a playground where we find Randy Giles.
Which yes, another foreshadow.
Yes.
Which I always forget when I see this screen cap. I always forget where it's from because I never watched
Right.
this fucking episode.
Yeah.
I'm like, when was Giles on when was Spike on a swing set?
With Giles.
So Buffy's in a sandbox. And Giles and Spike are swinging on a swing set.
And let's be clear, James Marsters is going for it on this swing set. He's not just like, Giles is just casually
Gliding along.
He's
James is
pumping his
legs.
yes, he's getting some height, and I'm sure they had to tell him you're out of frame.
And plus, I saw the swing set at some point. The whole thing is like
Yes.
kind of rocking back and forth. You are too grown to
Yes.
be going this hard.
Yes. Ease up. Well, I think he actually kind of goes into Xander goes to look for another bathroom, and he walks into his basement. And
Right.
he hears something
Right.
at the door, and he's like,
didn't order
fuck
any
no.
vampires.
Yeah, nope. And then he goes,
Right.
I don't know how he ends up in the playground, actually.
Yeah, so he walks out there, and Spike is going on to say that Giles is going to train him to be a watcher.
Yep.
Thinks I've got the stuff.
Yep. And he's wearing the same suit.
Yes.
That he ends up wearing as Randy Giles.
And to me, this scene signifies that maybe Xander is like super insecure about his placement and with everything, and because he says something about I was going to do that, or I was supposed to do that, but
Yeah.
I got other things
Yeah.
happening.
And he sees himself
in the
serving ice cream.
across the way, across
Yeah.
the park. And then there's a moment between him and Buffy. He's like, "Are you sure you should be playing in that sandbox, or it's too big, or something?" And then the sandbox turns into the Sahara Desert,
Right.
or the African plains. I don't know. And she calls him. She's like, "I got it, big brother," or something like that. And
And he's even like Big Brother.
yeah,
And the Buffy wiki points out that I found this interesting because I never thought about it. When you look at his dream as a whole, Buffy's the only girl that he doesn't think of in a sexual way.
right.
And she even calls him Big Brother.
Right.
So they think that it's like the representation of him getting rid of the last of his feelings for her.
Oh, that's a good way to think about it.
And I never thought about it that way.
I never even
Because I hate this episode and I don't think about
it. I never noticed that she was the only one that didn't get all sexed up in his dreams. Well, Anya doesn't really get sexed up in his dreams either.
No, she's just already
She's just
part of...
Yeah, I guess so. Just her existence is his relationship, and whatever.
And so it transforms from he's looking at Buffy and the ice cream version of him is looking at himself.
Right.
And then it transfers to that whole scene with them in the van, in the ice cream truck.
So he is driving the ice cream truck. Anya's in the passenger seat. And I don't know I forget what she's talking about. Oh, she's talking about that she's been thinking about getting back into vengeance.
Yeah.
And he's like, can you not? And she's all upset. You don't want me to have hobbies. And he's like, well, I mean, not vengeful ones.
Not vengeful. I don't want you killing people.
Can you take up stamp collecting or
Yeah.
something? Tap dancing maybe? I don't know. And then, he glances in the back and there's fucking Willow and Tara all sexed up.
Yeah.
Like
in sexy clothing, full on,
tons of makeup.
tons of makeup. And he's just like, can you keep it down? And they're like, no, you should join us.
And he looks at Anya and she's like, oh, it's fine. I'll drive.
I figured out how to steer by emphatically waving my hands.
So he goes back to join them. They're disappeared at this point, and he starts to crawl through these things, and he ends up back in his basement.
Yeah.
There's still more rattling at the door.
And this dream's going on forever.
It is. And he doesn't go upstairs to the door. He goes out some other way. And does he end up in the apocalypse now?
He ends up in, I think, the hallway of the college.
Right.
And that's the weird scene where I thought my speaker was broken. I thought I'd bumped the remote somehow and switched the audio to like Spanish or whatever.
I think it was French. The thing is, I'm usually asleep by this point, so this is all brand new to me.
It takes on like there's like a weird green tint to it,
Yeah.
and I'm like, did my TV just break?
Like, do I need to call somebody?
But no, it's dubbed that way on purpose, I guess. And I think there is some significance behind the French. I forget what he says because I don't like this episode.
Yeah. Xander's looking for everyone. Giles is like, oh, they went ahead. And then it's like, listen to what I'm about to say. This is super important. Your life depends on it. And then it turns into French.
Like, did I hit some? What was it?
And Anya shows up, and she starts speaking in French, and then everybody starts to pull him away.
Mm-hmm. But the cheese man has shown up in his basement, too.
That's right.
That's where the cheese... And when he's in the basement, and then he's like, fuck this. What the fuck? I'm out of here. And then he ends up in the hallway.
So they pull him out of the hallway, and I think, that's the apocalypse now at that point. and
He's just walking across with the
Right.
green screen, and then he ends up with Snyder doing his best. Martin Sheen, I think it actually is not, or is it Brando? I don't know because I didn't watch Apocalypse
it's Brando.
Now. Is it Brando?
Yeah. So he's doing his best Brando. I don't know if this is the same speech or anywhere near close to the same speech because I don't remember as Apocalypse Now. But again, like this is still amusing to me because they're going back and forth, and Xander says, have I forgotten to tell you how glad I am that you got eaten by a snake?
And that is my burn. That's my burn for the episode because he promised way back in season 2 that when he was an adult, he wanted to tell him what he thought of him.
Ah, yes.
And he finally gets to, even though it's a dream. It's a shame that I never got to tell you how happy I am that you were eaten by a giant snake. I love it.
That's awesome.
I love it.
Fantastic. And, Snyder's still going on. And then Xander, much like the rest of us with this, he's like done with it. Mm-hmm. He's like, I'm getting a cramp. Mm-hmm. He stands up.
I'm out of here. And he ends up back in the basement again.
Yeah.
And whatever it is in the basement has busted its way through.
In the form of his dad.
In the form of his dad in a very abusive manner.
My God. If this is he's going on about Xander never comes upstairs and mother's crying her guts out.
Puppy.
I've never heard that expression before ever, crying your guts out, but okay.
Okay.
And he storms down the stairs and gets right up in his face, and Xander looks so distraught and scared, and he's like been humiliated basically. His eyes are cast to the ground, and it's really kind of hurtful.
This is what he goes through.
This is why he sleeps outside during Christmas. Mm-hmm. And even though he shouldn't be, because Buffy has a perfectly good home where he could go hang out, and even Willow could go, So
this is also not the dad that shows up during the wedding. It's a completely different.
I kind of wish that they would have left his face in the shadows. Mm-hmm. Just make it more obscure so we don't think about that later on. But, nobody ever remembers. I didn't remember that they even showed him because I don't watch this one.
But he rips Xander's heart out.
Yeah, he just goes right in there, and then his dad turns into the shadowy figure that was stalking Willow.
Which it turns out they're all dying according to the part they had to play in the spell.
Wait, how did Willow?
Spirit. Xander's heart. And up next,
we've got Giles. Oh my God! That makes so much sense now. Mm-hmm. Wow. It doesn't make me like the episode anymore.
Nope.
But, that's smart. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. So Giles' dream.
Giles' dream.
I think it might be my favorite.
It's like Gifomania. There's so many gifs from this one scene. Mm-hmm. The Sunnydale Cemetery has turned into a carnival. Giles is there with Buffy.
Who is like a child, his child.
Yeah, she's in overalls, and he's with Olivia.
His wife, Olivia, Buffy's mom. I'm
pushing a baby carriage. Yeah. She's pushing a baby carriage, and they come up to like a Drac game where you have to hit Dracula with a... Yes.
Or stake me. Stake me.
Stake me. And she hits it and knocks it down, and she looks back at him like, yay, I did it. And he's like, what do you want? I haven't got any treats. She's not a dog, first of all. And Olivia's like, would you be nice?
Like, why are you so harsh? Like, why? And he's just kind of like, he's very aloof.
Yeah.
Very British and aloof.
And then Buffy turns around and she's like covered in mud. And he's like, whoop.
What? And Spike pops out. He's like, hey.
Come this way.
You guys are going to miss it. Come see all the fun.
And here's where Gifomania starts.
Gifomania, like it's...
I swear they use portions of it in the opening credits.
Yes.
It's in posters and art. Yes, everyone loves
everywhere.
This.
There's Facebook profile and Twitter. It's just, So they go back there and there's like Spike is just posing.
He's hired himself out as a carnival attraction.
There's people just taking photos.
And it's in black and white.
Yes. And he's he's doing hard.
Awesome. I've seen him do these poses in promo shots for the show.
Oh, right.
And my favorite is the open arms. And while Giles is walking in, he walks past Olivia upset. The baby carriage is turned over and she's crying.
Which that, I mean.
I'm sensing some real world shit.
Yes. Thank you.
As to why we don't really see Olivia
exactly
anymore.
Like,
because he actually says, I don't have time for this. Is that what you told her? Which
do you have a baby Giles somewhere?
Is there a beautiful little light-skinned baby?
Caramel baby Giles
out
somewhere?
there? Because we never see her again.
No.
That's it.
So that could, like, that's what I was thinking too. It's like, you know what? Rupert.
Yep. And so he ends up leaving Giles. Spike imparts a little bit of wisdom, I guess.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Don't care. I was too busy watching him be adorable.
Be posing. I like his poses.
And he walks out and he's in the bronze. Where
his furniture's in the bronze.
Yeah. Where Anya is doing stand-up for the first time. And she's telling some joke about a duck and a man.
The duck walks into a doctor's medical office.
It's all very strange.
Like, well, there's a duck. She's like confused by it. And Xander and Willow are sitting on Giles' couch, and Xander's got the chest wound.
Yes. Sucking chest wound from his dream.
And he even mentions it. And I forget what he says, but he basically, what I do remember, he's like, you know, this is Anya's opening night, and I didn't want to miss it.
Yeah.
Dumb.
And Willow's just like, we've got to figure this out.
Yes.
There's something is going on. We have to figure it out.
So they're now conscious inside the dream that something is amiss, and so they're trying to do research while in Giles' dream.
And then Giles is just going to tell us everything in what is aptly called the exposition song.
Dun, dun, dun. So he gets up on stage. He starts to do the explaining and singing. He gets on stage. He's picking up the mic. And my favorite line is, try not to bleed on my couch. I've just had it steamed.
I love it. And it's our song of the week because it's great. I used to listen to this song a lot. Because I've got to warn Buffy.
Right.
There's every chance she might be next. Well, yeah, of course she is. She's the only one left.
Last one left.
Of course. And like everybody's holding up lighters. And then he actually says, but wait. Because he's figured it out. He knows what's going on. But he like drops the mic or something happens and he's following the mic cord.
And then he finds a big old tangle, as most of us do when we're following mic cords and cables and whatnot. And any sort of electronical cables. It's always a big fucking mess.
And we get this awesome shot of the whatever has been following them. We get a full version shot, a full body shot,
right?
Like a lightning strike of it above him.
Yes,
and it's just like, what the fuck is that?
It's on the ground. He's going through the cables, and he pulls out a pocket watch, and he's like, "Of course,
of course.
You know, how could you know you never had a watcher?"
And I'm like, oh, what now?
What?
Oh, what? I'm interested now.
Exactly. Now she's on him. And he's saying something else, but while she is scalping him. Basically.
Mind.
Yep.
He was the mind part.
So good. That makes so much sense now. All right.
So then we get to Buffy.
Snore.
And once again, the Buffy wiki has taught me something I never thought of before. In each of Willow, Giles, and Xander's dreams, Buffy was in each one of those dreams.
Right.
In her dream, none of them are in her dream.
This is true. Yes, because she's looking for everybody.
Yeah. None of them are in her dream.
Weird.
She does not give two shits about these people. She's looking for them.
And there's even some point where Tara says for the first Slayer is like, you came here because you knew they weren't here.
Buffy's dream kicks off in the college dorm room, and instead of Willow being there asleep, Anya's like, Buffy, you have to wake up. I'm scared. And the first layer is above her bed.
Right.
And she wakes up and she's in her actual bedroom. And she's just looking around and shit's... It's just such a stupid dream. And that's where Tara's like, what are you doing? You know, why are you here?
Buffy says something about... She sees the bed unmade.
We just made this.
Yeah.
Faith and I just made this. And there's some kind of,
some other stuff.
Some alluding to Dawn.
Yes. Buffy leaves her and then Tara's like, be back before dawn.
It's like, really?
So Buffy now leaves her house and ends up in the initiative, I think.
I think that's where, yeah.
and Riley is sitting there chilling with the human version of Adam.
With actual Mr. George Hertzberger himself.
Yes. And they're sitting there on this big old glass table, and they're discussing this. Also, it makes me wonder, who was the human version of Adam? Where did they get the human part? Was
The
he
body?
a soldier?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Was he an initiative soldier?
Yeah. So anyway, they're sitting there.
Oh, she goes to the college first.
What happens?
She goes to the college and finds her mom in the wall.
That's right. There's a mouse tickling my knees.
Okay, Joyce, you hate your mother. Like,
So what is that? Yes, like
what?
Buffy,
Let's
there's
interpret this.
Yes, there's some fiend of like, of concern. She's like, Mom, you really shouldn't be living in there. It's kind of dirty. She's like, no, it's fine. I've got some room. I'm learning how to play mahjong.
With what? The mice? What are you doing in there?
And then, they're talking. She's still like, I don't think you should be living in there. And she's like, well, I guess you could you could pull me out. And then Buffy's like, immediately no longer cares.
Bye.
This is
And this is why your mom goes nuts and gets brain tumors.
Yep. Because you are a dick who has no time for her.
Now, speaking of the brain tumor, your lovely husband Dan came up with a theory we had never thought about.
Yes.
In relation to this episode.
Which, crazy. So, as we know, everybody's dream is all intertwined and interconnected. We just assumed that it was left over because of, the spell they did, that their brains were connected. But Dan, the insightful young man that he is, he thinks that this, because the dawn comes, like, within the next couple episodes, that it's the monks. This is like a backlash from the monks messing around with all their magics, making dawn.
Yep.
And messing with everybody's brains.
Yeah.
Which,
Damn. I could buy into that.
Right? I could totally get into that. That makes this much more
You combine the leftover effects of the spell with a new spell combining.
Right.
You could end up with this garbage.
Exactly. It's fucking dumpster fire.
Shit. Because seriously, Buffy's dream makes no sense to me. Like, she then does go to the initiative. And
Riley's talking about world domination.
yeah.
But the best part,
When the alarm goes off.
he's like, there's trouble. It's time to we better make a fort. And then Adam's like, I'll get the pillows.
Let's get the pillows. And she's like, no. I have weapons. I have my bag of weapons. And she opens it to putty. It's mud.
She gives herself a mud mask.
Now let me ask you. You find a bag of mud. Are you just going to put that on your face?
Nope.
No.
Nope. What the hell is why is there mud in my weapons bag?
Right.
Clearly I grabbed the wrong bag.
Riley comes up to her and he's like, hey, killer.
Yeah, he calls her that a couple times.
Well, and before Adam runs away, her and Adam have this back and forth, and she's like, I'm not a monster. And he's like, is that a fact? And that's where you actually can see kind of like the face darken, and you're like, oh, there's Adam.
Yeah.
Because he had been kind of like nerdy businessman.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see Adam in him.
Exactly. And I don't think everybody would have caught it immediately. That's who that was. But until she mentions Adam, and then that happens, the darkening, and they're like, oh, that's Adam.
It's like, oh, shit. And then Riley, the whole thing with the lights going out and them running off coast, and then she puts the mud on her face. Pillows. And he says, hey, killer. Why does everyone keep calling her? She's not a fucking killer.
Like, come on, guys.
She's
a Slayer. I mean, technically, sure.
Okay, she has killed things.
But
no humans. Has she ever killed a human?
No.
Not that I can think of.
I don't think so.
Faith has.
Yeah.
She technically didn't kill Gwendolyn Post.
Nope.
She cut her arm off, and then the lightning probably blew her up, but
no.
She didn't kill her.
It's not her fault.
That doesn't land on her.
No.
So she's got the mud all over her face, and he's like, I thought you were gonna, find your friends.
Yeah.
But I guess you're just doing this shit.
Buffy's dream Riley
is kind of an asshole.
He's got to stick up his ass about something. I don't know what.
Yep.
I don't know what. But it kind of, I guess this is sort of foreshadowing as to where their relationship turns into.
He's like, you don't need me? Fuck it. I'm out. And he leaves. He totally just walks away, and she's like, okay, I'm going to walk through the initiative, and then all of a sudden I'm in a desert. Yes. Why? Why is any of this happening?
She comes across Tara.
Again.
And Tara's like all,
This form was borrowed. It's not actually me.
And then we see the figure who the first Slayer is, and she's like behind Buffy, stalking around her. And,
Hey.
And so we learn that Tara is speaking for her.
I have no voice.
And Buffy's like, let her speak for herself, like Buffy.
And can we point out, Tara looks gorgeous in this episode.
Yes.
She's got some skin showing, like confident. This is not a confidence that Tara has.
No.
So, of course, this is not Tara.
This is Amber.
The whole episode, Tara looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, she does.
Because this is not Tara.
Right. This is
in bed with Willow with the naked
idealized.
back and the hair. She looked gorgeous.
Right.
In class, all sexy with Oz. She looked gorgeous.
Because everybody else's idealized version of Tara.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And so Buffy's like, I do not have time to make her speak. I'm not doing this middleman bullshit. You got a problem with me, you talk to me.
So she starts talking.
What it boils down to is the first Slayer is butthurt about Buffy having friends. That's
Yes.
what it all boils down to.
You're not supposed to have friends.
No, you're supposed to
I
do
didn't
this
have
alone.
friends. Mm-mm. You don't get friends.
No, you don't do. No.
No, friends bad. Buffy's like, I feel like a more of an act of defiance than actually that, no, I really care about these people. They help me out a lot. No, it's just more like, hey, you tell me I can't do it, I'm going to do it.
I feel like Buffy doesn't learn anything from her dream. Everybody else like works through some shit.
Right.
And their dream and, for the most part learns something.
Right.
I feel like she's just like, I'm right.
Yeah, there's
Because
a lot of that.
She ends her own dream.
Yeah, she's like, you know what? I'm sick of this.
I'm going to wake up now. And you're going to be gone.
There was still stuff for you to learn, I'm sure.
She was trying to.
There was probably going to be like that whole story that you had to work through a couple seasons from now about how the first Slayer became.
Yeah. And they have a fight, a gorgeous fight, where they
Yeah.
mix in some slow-mo while they're fighting.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's Buffy stunt double.
Right. And
Stay
then,
far away. Their hair is so different. The texture of their hair is so different.
and speaking of hair, Buffy says some racist bullshit about the first Slayer. I am butthurt.
Yeah.
About this.
This line's pretty fucked up.
About how she says, something about you may want to rethink your hairdo. It's not appropriate for the workplace. Buffy Ann Summers.
Right?
If you don't fuck the hell off right now.
We are done. And she like just goes onto the couch and the first Slayer's just like, no.
Starts stabbing her. And then Buffy's like, this isn't real.
She actually rolls like an extended eye roll. Are you finished?
Are you quite done now? And then the Slayer's like, a little taken aback.
And that's the first time in the episode I'm like, this actress is old as shit. When she became a Slayer. We turning 30-year-olds into
right, exactly. So that's what
when does it become a girl?
because she is that, my friend, is no girl. What was this actress's name? Because I meant to look her up and see
I don't know. We see her. Is she in anything else? What? And she really, Buffy, right at that point when she's just like, you need to rethink your hair. She wakes up, and everybody wakes up at the same time. The whatever is doing it to them has ended. They all wake up, and they're all talking about it. And Joyce comes in and is like, what happened? What's going on, everybody?
Oh, you guys still awake? I don't know what's
You guys want some cocoa? Xander, be my kitchen buddy.
And he's like, he goes from calling her Joyce to Buffy's mom.
Buffy's mom. Yes, Joyce, Buffy's mom.
Be right there, Buffy's mom.
Because he remembers his sexed up dream.
Mm-hmm. And he's rightfully embarrassed.
Yep, as he should be. And then they're all talking, and I think it's Buffy that makes the point. She's just like, yeah, that shit was weird, but at least none of you dreamt about the cheese guy.
Which,
what the hell was with that?
yeah, they all look at each other like, yeah. So, okay, first of all, her name is Sharon Ferguson, and she's credited as the Primitive, not the first Slayer, but the primitive
I don't like
in
that.
IMDb.
I don't like that at all.
No, she's Jamaican. We have no date of birth here on IMDb.
They stopped doing the calculations. I now have to do math when I want to know how old people are. They used to put the age in parentheses behind their
Right.
birth date,
Yeah.
but they don't do it anymore. She was on Fear the Walking Dead
Really?
as neighbor in an
Huh.
episode.
Maybe she's in like, because I feel like I've seen her recently with a headband on. So like I think she might have been in New Alexandria or something.
She can be our Where Are They Now this week.
Where is she? Where
What
you
are
at,
you
Sharon?
doing, Sharon? Because it looks like the most recent we've seen you is in an episode playing Madame Laveau in Young Sheldon.
She was on Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah, Fear the Walking Dead.
Gotcha.
So she's been acting
Yeah.
steadily.
Yeah.
She did 3 episodes of Glee.
Oh, she was a dancer.
She was on Alias.
Grey's Anatomy on an episode.
2 episodes of the Drew Carey Show. She's been steadily doing things.
Yeah. Good for her.
Good for you.
Movie Quarantine. Shall We Dance? So I guess she's a dancer by trade. She looks like she does a lot of that.
Dancing.
Yeah.
And if we were to do our 6 degrees of Buffy this week, we could do it in one movie.
Which is
Kurt Smith was in a movie in the 2000s called The Forsaken with Jonathan Saish, where Jonathan Saish was a vampire.
who's Kirsch?
From Roswell, and
Oh, yeah.
he was in it with Brendan Fair from Roswell,
Right.
and they were going up against a gang of vampires.
Yes, I remember that movie.
And Olivia was one of the vampires.
Right. Yes. Nice. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yep. So we can connect Jonathan Saish or Kurt Smith to Buffy in one.
Yep. There it is. All right. So that was Restless.
Yeah. It's just kind of. We're left with this extra line that Buffy remembers from her dream that Tara said, which was, you have no idea what's to come, who you are,
Right.
And we'll hear that again very, very soon in the very next episode, which is Season 5, Episode 1.
So, all right. So, yes, this episode does pass the Bechdel test. The body
Sure.
count doesn't matter in
They're all fake.
dreams. You have a trivia here.
Yes, an insane trivia that I got courtesy of the Buffy Wiki. And there's just so much going on in this episode that I never thought about. But it was rumored, this is straight from the Buffy Wiki, it was rumored that this episode was to guest star many past recurring characters. Willow's classroom dream was set to feature Larry, Cordelia, Amy, Jenny Calendar was supposed to push the baby cart instead of Olivia. And then it was supposed to have Olivia crying in Spike's crypt. Faith was going to appear in Buffy's bedroom telling her to be back before dawn, while Angel was supposed to have appeared in the episode as the voice of the first Slayer. But unfortunately, Joss could only get Oz, Harmony, and Snyder back for the episode.
I think that was plenty. I think anything more would have been a little much.
Especially for just some throwaway episode.
Exactly. And then Boreanaz as the Angel as the voice of the first Slayer. That's...
I like it better with Tara.
Yeah, it makes it seems right.
Yeah.
The moral of this story, always control your dreams. Don't let your dreams control you.
I control my dreams. I don't have very many nightmares because I usually recognize that they're nightmares.
That's crazy.
I don't have nightmares. Because they're dreams, people. You can take control.
All right, so let us know what you think of Restless. Like, are you part of this fans that this is your favorite?
No.
Because I want to know. I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know, literally. Like, let us know who you are.
Right.
Call us, 412-385-7250. Leave a message, or you can send us a voicemail message at revisitingsunnydale@gmail.com. You can also go ahead and holler at us on Twitter at Back to Sunnydale or on our Facebook page. So next week's episode, we're doing something a little bit new. We're going to do a wrap-up of the entire season 4. So we're going to wrap that up, and we're going to have special guests. We have mentioned several times the Slayer Stats book with all the infographics and all of the stats on Buffy, just like how many times Giles has been knocked unconscious. There's a map of where, a map of Sunnydale. There's, like stupid shit like
Who sired whom?
Yeah, like who had relationships with whom, and just like Spike's favorite things and
Wanted posters.
Yes, it's so good. It's called Buffy the Vampire Slayer Stats, and the authors of this book,
Simon and Steve,
they're going to be our guests next episode. So if you have any questions that you want us to ask them, let us know.
Yep, tweet us.
Yeah, tweet us. And so thankfully, those guys agreed to be on the show, and we are looking forward to talking to them and gushing with them about Buffy and how they got the gig to make this book. Is this something that they just thought of on their own and pitched?
I can't wait to talk to them about it.
Or, hell, maybe somebody spotted them out. Maybe they're just, hardcore fans.
Yep.
So anyway, yeah. So come back next time. And in the meantime, talk to us on Twitter. I'm Camila at @the_rugged angel.
And I'm Marcella at mspear7338. I know my name.
I know who I am.
I know who I am.
Thanks, guys.